Paris, the city of justice. Within these walls, Jean-Baptiste Camus thrived. This is Jean-Baptiste Camus, a lawyer, a defender, a hero. At least that's what he liked to believe. He fought for the innocent, defended the helpless, worked tirelessly, but always with one eye on the verdict. Justice was served, and so was his ego. Everyone applauded his victories. He applauded his performance. But underneath the suit and smile, ambition drank deeper than justice ever did. Camus, a lawyer, walked through the quiet streets of Paris one night. His footsteps echoed in the stillness. Suddenly a scream pierced the air, followed by a splash. Camus stopped, listening. The night held its breath. But then he walked away, his steps quicker now. He didn't look back. The next day the newspapers said nothing, no witnesses, no questions. But Camus couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. He heard something else, the sound of his own heart pounding in shame. A haunting echo that followed him everywhere. Days later, as he strolled through the bustling streets, he heard it again. A laugh. Behind him, cold. He turned around, but there was no one there. The laughter seemed to come from within him, a cruel reminder of his guilt. The guilt had a voice, and it was laughing. It was a sound he couldn't escape. What would you have done? Would you have stopped? These questions haunted Camus, and they haunt us too. Could you live with the silence or the laughter? The choice is a heavy one. This is the haunting tale of a lawyer's guilt, a story that reminds us that sometimes the hardest battles are the ones we fight within ourselves. If you enjoyed this mystery, hit the like button and subscribe for more chilling tales. Your support helps us bring more stories to life. Until next time, stay curious and remember, sometimes the most chilling tales are the ones that come from within.
That laugh cracked the mirror. The image he'd loved, the good man, the hero, shattered. So he ran, not to escape punishment, but to escape illusion. He fled to Amsterdam, a city below sea level, a city of fog, canals, and forgotten sins. Here, he found peace. Not in forgiveness, but in confession. Not in salvation, but in self-destruction. He called it clarity.
Now he sits in a bar, talks to strangers, sips gin, tells the truth no one asks for. He calls himself a lawyer. He confesses, but only to judge. He admits his guilt and exposes yours. He says there's no such thing as innocence, only good acting. And now that he's removed his mask, he smiles, waiting for you to take off yours. So tell me, when the laugh finds you, will you turn back? Or will you fall too?
So Jean Clemens, defender of widows, savior of the poor, and now full-time bartender of guilt. Tell me, when exactly did the hello slip? The hello, yes. It choked me a little. You wear it long enough and you start to think it's first to your skull. But no, I was a lawyer, not a saint. I helped the helpless, but only when the spotlight was on. So you're basically a peer campaign with a law degree. Exactly. Good deeds for applause. I never helped anyone without imagining how good I would look doing it. The applause was divine, better than absolution. And yet, here you are, drinking gin in a Dutch dungeon, talking to strangers. What happened? Midlife crisis? Or did a nun finally throw holy water at you? Worse, one night I walked across a bridge in Paris and heard a splash. A woman had jumped. She cried for help. And I walked on, not out of cruelty, just fear, apathy. Cold eyes. I looked around, saw no one, and kept walking. I told no one, not even myself. And the guilt didn't strike you until someone laughed behind you in the street? Must have been one hell of a laugh. That laugh, it sliced me open. I heard it, and I knew it was meant for me. The cosmic sinker, not just about the woman, about everything. Every smile, every case won, every kind gesture, all a lie. The laugh said, I see you. So what did you do? You threw away your robe, grew a shadow beard, and fled to Amsterdam? Because nothing says redemption like sinking below sea level. Amsterdam, the city of canals and moral sewage. I came here to root, elegantly. This bar, is my confessional. I serve drinks, I spill truth, and I listen to people's guilt. Their little sins, they talk, and I judge. So he went from lower to bartender to divine interrogator. I call it judge penitent. I confess yes, but in doing so, I pull others in. Once I admit I am a fraud, I open the doors for you to do the same or better. I point out at that you are already here. And society, in its finite virtue, is surely better now. No, you have got hashtags, fundraisers, corporate apologies in rainbow colors. Yes, the age of curated compassion, performative virtue, we no longer help people. We help our image. We post a black square, donate €5, and call it redemption. And the best part, you get likes. Applause has gone digital. Even guilt has a filter now. So you are saying modern morality is Instagrammable? Oh, morality is now a branding. We don't seek to the good. We seek to be seen as good. It's theater. The world is a stage. And every sinner's got a PR team. And where did you fit in exactly? The failed saint, the bitter oracle, the drunk Socrates with no followers? Call me what you like, but I have clarity. I stopped pretending. That's more than most. I see the road. I admit my part in it. And now I offer guidance. Dark guidance. Perhaps my honest. You sound like a nihilist preacher. Better a preacher in hell than a liar in heaven. You ever think about the woman on the bridge? Every day, not her face. I never saw it. Just the scream and the silence that followed. It echoes through everything I say now. It's why I can't stop talking. Is that why you keep doing this? Talking to strangers, unloading your guilt like it's on the clearance? Because I want anyone to judge me, but no one ever does. They just confess in return. Guilt is contagious. You see, like a yawn or a laugh. How poetic, how pathetic, hard to tell. Isn't it always? Shall we order another round? Gin, my truth serum of choice. Bartender? Oh no. I don't drink on the job. Strict policy. Clear mindset. Sharp tongue. Two please, neat. One for each guilty conscience. I said no. I shouldn't. I don't drink often. Of course not. You are pure. Above the filth. But here, just hold it. For symbolism? For symbolism? Symbolism has eyes. It always does. One sip won't damn me. And there it is, the scared no. That meant yes. The virtue that needed just a little push. You are one of us now. Let's not get dramatic. It's just a gin. So was my confession. So what now? Another drink? Another soul to infect? Another stranger to convert into a mirror? Perhaps. Or maybe you. You are listening, aren't you? You mean the love behind us? Or the one inside us? Same thing in the end. So what about you? Will you turn back or will you fall too?
Today, I'll be presenting a quick review on the novel The Fall by Albert Camus, a philosophical novel that explores the themes of guilt, judgment, and moral hypocrisy. We'll look at the novel's core themes and then reflect on how these ideas connect to the modern world. The Fall was published in 1956 by French-Algerian philosopher Albert Camus. It's written entirely as a dramatic monologue by the narrator Jean-Baptiste Clemens, a former successful lawyer from Paris. The setting in Amsterdam plays a symbolic role. It's a city below sea level, reflecting moral and philosophical descent. The entire novel feels like a confession, full of irony and deep self-reflection. The central theme in this, the fall refers both to humanity's fall from grace and to Clemens' personal collapse. He admits he lived a life built on self-image, helping others not for their sake but to feel victorious. The novel questions the sincerity of morality. Are our good deeds ever truly selfless? Clemens argues that everyone harbors guilt, and we try to hide it through our judgments and superiority. Beyond the fall, Camus brings several extensionalist ideas. First, the absurdity of life. We seek meaning in a meaningless world. Second, moral hypocrisy. We judge others to avoid facing our own flaws. Clemens is deeply alienated, using his monologue to search for connection and perhaps redemption. And finally, the idea of power. Clemens reinvents himself as a judge penitent, someone who confesses but also judges others harshly. Camus' insights feel even more relevant today. In a world dominated by social media, we curate virtuous images of ourselves, but often it's just posturing. Think about cancel culture. How easily we condemn others without offering path for growth. And despite our digital connection, many feel isolated. Clemens' loneliness mirrors that experience. Camus is essentially asking us, are we being honest with ourselves? These are the questions Camus forces us to sit with. Is it possible to be true good, or is it all goodness just self interest? How do we deal with our own guilt? Do we hide it, ignore it, or face it on head on? In conclusion, The Fall is a philosophical and moral investigation of human soul. Camus critiques not just society, but the very way we see ourselves. His message isn't confronting, but it's honest. We all have a fall in us, and facing it may be the first step towards truth. Thanks.
After reading The Fall, I felt unsettled, but in the best possible way. Camus doesn't just tell a story, he holds up a mirror. Through Clement's confession, I found myself questioning my own actions. How often do I do the right thing just to feel better about myself? What struck me most is how timeless the novel feels. Even though it was written in 1950s, it speaks directly to our current world, where image, performance, and judgment are so central how we live and interact. It's not always an easy read, but it's powerful. And if you are someone who likes to think deeply about human nature, morality, or even just why we do what we do, I highly recommend giving this novel a chance. It will stay with you long after you finish it, and it might just change how you see yourself and everyone else. Thank you.